super good here, and to answer your question as I view it and as I understand and as I interpret, okay? And having said that, then let me go on to give you what my feelings and thoughts are on this particular scripture. In the essence, when Jesus said, "Judge not, that you be not judged," because in essence he went on to say that if you do, that same judgment is going to be meted out against you.
Correct.
Okay, now, that does not mean, as you have indicated, that I cannot judge other people by their lives, or let me put it this way, make judgments on their lives and whatever else. Keeping in mind that Jesus was talking from a religious or a spiritual way, not a secular way, because the Bible is a spiritual book and it has to do with a spiritual walk and a spiritual life. Although it is filled with, from beginning to end, it is filled with ways that we should walk and we should live, even among society. Paul makes all kinds of rules and regulations, and so do the others in both the Old and the New Testament. But basically what Jesus was saying here was in the sense of condemning this individual or indicating to them that you are going to go to hell, or I'm going to pronounce judgment on you, and I'm going to punish you, and I'm going to do this to you. And further, in one of the Pauline books, he says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, I will repay." So it's not my place as an individual to go out here to somebody who's walking a life that I disagree with and rail on this individual and tell them that, you're going to get punished, or you're going to get this, or you're going to get that, or you're going to go to hell, or you're going to suffer, or whatever. Now, I am enjoined by the same gospel that if I am working, or I am walking, if you will, associated with people whose lifestyle is such that is diametrically opposed to my own moral code, then I am to disassociate myself from those individuals. I'm not to walk with you. I'm not to commune with you. The Quakers and people, and the Mennonites and the Amish people took it to an extreme, called it shunning.
Right.
And they didn't talk to you, and they did whatever else.
Right.
Now, there are people whose lifestyle I disagree with, but I am conjoined by necessity of daily life to work with these individuals or to be in association with these individuals. And I will do that, and I will do it on a pleasant, and I will do it on a happy level and whatever. The only thing is I won't participate in their lifestyle. Furthermore, when I'm invited to participate in their lifestyle, I will tell them no, and I will decline to do so, and if pressed, I will tell them why. Because this is against my moral code, this is against what I believe. It's either deleterious to my health, or it's deleterious to my spiritual health, or it's deleterious to my financial health, or whatever, see. I am not going to condemn anybody as far as I'm concerned if they want to walk a deviant life. The only thing is, I'm not going to walk it with them. I'm not going to participate in it with them. And furthermore, I'm not going to put my blessing on what they do.
Exactly.
In that way, I have judged this individual, if you follow my line of thought and my line of thinking here. By the same token, I am not going to come out and I'm not going to vilify this person, and I'm not going to, as some people refer to it, being a Bible thumper and whatever else, and publicly embarrass or humiliate this individual. That's not my judgment to make. My judgment is to judge John and to take care of his life and do what he's supposed to do, but I'm not going to walk with those individuals. I'm not going to participate in what they do, and here again, I'm being a little slightly redundant. I'm not going to put my blessing on them. It's like my attitude towards homosexuality. I will just pick that out, for instance. I believe it's wrong. I believe it's because it is publicly, or it's enjoined against in the Bible, and I try to be as best I can a Bible follower. By the same token, in the secular world, see, Jesus again said, "Render unto Caesar those things that are Caesar, and unto God those things that are God." Under Caesar's law, this is not necessarily anymore something that is forbidden. We used to have all kinds of state laws against sodomy and those kinds of things. For the most part, I think with the exception of a few states, I think 7, most of those laws have been overturned in recent times by state legislatures. So, I personally am not going to condemn anybody who walks in that particular path. That's none of my business. They do what they do, and they do it in the privacy of their own home. Now, if they bring it into my presence, if they want me to participate, if they start patting me on the bottom, you know, and making overtures and things of this sort, then at that point, I say, no, I can't do this, and I don't want to do this, and I disassociate myself. Excuse me. Sure. I disassociate myself from those individuals and that activity. Now, I have and do work with and associate with individuals that I have personal knowledge are homosexuals. I never bring it up. I never discuss it. I don't worry about it. It's no big deal that they don't make any moves on me. Their lifestyle is theirs. So I am not going to, again, beat them over the head with this or say Jesus is going to get you or you're going to rot in hell or whatever. That's not my place. I'm not enjoined anywhere scripturally to do that. But I can tell by their lifestyle, I can tell by their talk, I can tell by their actions, I can tell by their conversations with me that this, or we can take a person who uses illegal drugs. I frankly don't care. If you want to shoot your arm up with heroin, if you want to suck your nose full of cocaine, if you want to grow marijuana in your backyard, I am not going to judge you for that. I would not even, until it impacted my life, more than likely, I would not even turn you into the authorities. Now, if I caught you selling it to children, or if I caught you doing things like that, you know, that I felt like was harming society and I'm not talking about harming yourself. That was the first part of my conversation. But if I caught you harming society or children or people like that, yes, I would pick up the phone, I would dial 911, and I would hopefully get your ass put in jail.
Right.
Forgive my plain talk there.
No, that's wrong.
But the idea of this young lady that you're talking about,
right.
Your attitude, in my opinion, should be that if she wants to live that lifestyle, fine. Go on and live that lifestyle. Now, don't come to me for financial help. Don't come to me to live with me. Don't, unless you change your ways.
See, exactly what I said.
Because I don't care if you get out on the street and work as a prostitute to support your heroin addiction. I don't care.
Right.
That's up to you. That's a lifestyle choice that you have made, and you can walk that path if you want to. Now, if you get your financial or otherwise mammary in a ringer, if you will, and you want to come to me and you want me to borrow money or give you money or whatever else to sustain your lifestyle,
right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I can't. That would be me giving acquiescence to what you're doing.
Right.
Now, if you are in deep trouble and you need a place to rest and you want to come and you will not perpetuate your habit or your lifestyle or whatever while you're with me or in my domicile, yes, I am enjoined by my religion to give you help and to give you assistance and to give you relief. If, however, I see that you persist in these kinds of things and you have no intentions whatsoever, I'm not talking about a momentary relapse because we all stumble and fall in all things from time to time. But a momentary relapse I'm not talking about. But if I see on a protracted basis that you're not going to change, that you have no intention of change, that you're using me, if you will, then I'm going to say, okay, fine, vacate the premises. Right. Because I can't walk with you. I can't do this. I can't associate with you. I can't, for my own spiritual health, for my own financial health, and possibly keeping my own butt out of jail, I can't continue to do this.
John, you don't know how close you are to what's already happened and just what you said. That's exactly what's happened with us. Just everything you said.
Well, again, just whoever this person is.
It's a me.
Well, whatever, say, look, I'm not going to judge you. I don't care. You live your lifestyle.
That's what I said.
You do what you want to do. But don't ask me in any way, shape, or form, financially, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, or otherwise, to support you in that, because I can't do that. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean if you were hurt and you were in deep trouble and you needed help in the hospital or something, that I wouldn't be there to hold your hand or pay your bills or do whatever. That's one thing. But I will not support your lifestyle in any way, shape, or form. Does that help you out?
Well, that's exactly what I thought Jesus was actually talking about. You hit it right in the head. Either don't judge, but don't say, hey, I'm not going to okay what you're doing. And say, oh, good job, keep it up.
No. Again, you render under Caesar those things that are Caesar, under God those things that are God's. And as long as the secular law says you can do these kinds of things, it's like the legalization of some drugs out here. The only reason I'm against them for the most part is the fact that the secular law, Caesar says, I'll put you in jail if you do that. In fact, probably 50 to 55% of the people we have incarcerated in jails today across the country are there one way or the other for drug-related crimes, you see. Right. And when Caesar says, okay, we don't care about that anymore, it's no big deal, we're not going to worry about it, then I'm going to feel exactly the same way. You know, so
on the how does that apply to capital punishment? That's a secular law, as opposed to Christian law. Christians would not be in favor of capital punishment.
Oh, heavens, yes, they would be in favor of capital punishment. Any Christian who truly understands Scripture can't help but believe in capital punishment. Because again, this was never done away with. You see, people say, well, we live in the age of grace, the old law has been done away with. No. There's not done away with, and never was done away with. And Jesus himself said, look, if you don't understand Moses and the prophets, there's no possible way you can understand who I am. The only thing that Jesus did away with, as far as the Old Testament law is concerned, is he did away with the sacrificial ordinances. The statutes are still there.
Well, how about the stoning of the prostitute when he said, without sin cast the first stone then?
Well, here again, you've got to go back and you've got to understand societally what was going on.
Right. Understand.
Now, the ancient Hebrew people, ancient Israel, they didn't believe in hanging. And in fact, they had an ordinance, cursed is he that is hanged on a tree, okay?
All right.
So the only way that they had to punish people or whatever, they could stick a sword to them or whatever, but that was left to the king. This is one of the things that happened in Jesus' time, was the fact that the Romans did not allow these people under their jurisdiction to carry out these kinds of judgment. That's why they had to take Jesus before Pontius Pilate, because they could not execute him. They were forbidden from this under that law. Coupled with the fact, the ancient rite of stoning was the fact that the community came together and said, look, in essence said, and by participating in the stoning, the community said, we will not tolerate this among us. We will not allow this. We will not have this. We will not. Today, we have assigned that, if you will, to the state. Now, after the person in ancient times was brought before the elders at the gate and it was determined that this individual is worthy of death, then the community at large came together to do this. They did not have executioners. And this was the essence of the community saying, we agree with this judgment, and we participate in this by the very act of throwing a stone. This is why Jesus said, let him that is without sin cast the first stone. Okay. Now, today, we have assigned this as a society. We have assigned this over to the state.
Capital punishment.
Capital punishment. And we don't today get a rope and go out and as a collective, we did this up until the 1900s. The late 1800s, we did this because the community would get together. The judge would say, okay, so-and-so, you're a horse thief, or you're a cattle thief, or you're a murderer, or you're a bank robber, and we're going to hang you. Well, the community would come together, and the sheriff would take them out there, and in the community lot, in the city square, if you will, they would hang this individual in the public eye.
Right.
Now today, because we have changed some things out here, we have assigned that duty over again unto the state. Whether the state could be county, the state, because we let them do the arresting, we let them do the incarcerating. We don't pack guns anymore and go around arresting each other or shooting up other individuals over harm done to us, real or imagined. So anyway, we've assigned that to the state. And in that way, because we allow the state to do this, we again, as a community, come together and say, look, this person is worthy of death. You take the guy, Timothy McVeigh. Now, there's hardly a person in the country that doesn't believe this man is worthy of execution. He killed through his actions, he killed 168 people. And so what person would there be that would say, look, this guy is worthy of the death penalty. And the essence of it was, these people are basically human garbage, and we take these people out and we rid society of them. And that's one of the reasons why we have the problems in society today, is because we don't continue with that attitude. You and I have been here way longer than we intended to be.
I really appreciate it.
Right.
Now you straighten us out. Thanks, pal.
All right, thank you. Now, again, those are my thoughts on it. I don't hold anybody else to that, and if you don't want to accept that, that's cool. You know, and if we've got you over on something right there that you want to deal with, why, hey, that's fine, too. In fact, we've got Wally here who wants to talk about hanging, and I'll get to Wally in a minute. We've got all kinds...